Welcome back to Girl Talk. As you may notice, Lauren and I are now joined by Dan Luck, who is probably a familiar face as we've been over at Bella Domicile many a times, and Chris Boehm, who's here with Center for Families. And we're so pleased to be here in this space. So thanks for joining us for the final segment.
I'm so excited to talk about this and learn more about the space we're sitting in.
It's really incredible. So as we've mentioned, we are here at Center for Families, and we are sitting in the newly designed Respite Centre, and it was a great place to start, but it is an absolutely phenomenal knock your socks off center right now. And Dan and the team at Bella Domicile had a lot to do with that, and we're going to talk to you a little bit later about your involvement.
Great.
I want to talk a little bit first about what the Respite Centre is and what the purpose for families is.
Well, the Respite Center program is a supplemental daycare program and a 24-hour supplemental crisis child care center.
Mm-hmm.
So we're open 365, 24 hours a day. There are children who sleep here every night. We serve families who have low resources and little support,
mm-hmm.
perhaps in their extended families. So we provide a lot of care for families that are under stress.
Mm-hmm.
They have medical issues, they have legal appointments. We have long-term relationships with families because you can bring your children here when they're infants all the way through the age of 15.
That's so incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And I think it's important that you mentioned low resources, but also lack of support, because it's not just income-based. This is somewhere that you can take your child if your family just doesn't have help and support in the area. And I think that's really important to mention.
And I really also like what you said about 24/7, 365, whether it's holidays, weekends, whatever, there's always a resource. You know, you guys are always a resource for people in the community if they're in distress. So with that being said, you know, if a family is in distress and they're going to bring their children here, what can they expect when they arrive at the Center for Families?
Well, they can expect the highest quality care in
Sounds
terms
like it.
of like child care. They can, if a parent wants to start using the center,
Sure.
the best way is to call 244-5700 and make an appointment with our family service workers. We have a social work component here as well. But the family service worker will introduce the family to the space and to the program.
Get them familiar and comfortable?
Yes, and do the necessary paperwork.
Certainly.
Something like an enrollment process.
Yeah.
They can bring their children when they meet with the family service workers, and then we like to give them schedule some care for the kids right away so they can meet the immediate needs, because parents are often coming to us at a critical time when
Sure.
something is just
Because a
come
lot of
up.
times they're maybe not planning ahead, and they don't realize or look to you guys until they actually are in their moment of distress. So it's
Right.
good that you can help them out immediately.
Right, yeah, well, we usually can meet those crises needs. Sometimes we can't. We serve about 700 kids and about 500 families a year.
Yeah.
We have about 1,200 enrolled in our database.
It takes a lot to keep it running and keep it open all day, every day, like you do. And I want to talk a little bit about, let's get to the makeover portion, because it is stunningly beautiful. It is perfectly warm for these kids. What does this makeover mean for Center for Families and the Respite Center?
Well, it really enhances the caregiver-child relationship.
Yeah.
It also speaks to the parents' needs in that we added another bedroom. We have this beautiful kitchen that is of the highest quality. Can feel confident it's going to be here for a very long time.
It will indeed, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah, and so we'll be able to serve more kids, more families, and just a much more enriched environment.
Absolutely. I believe it. It is truly an impressive space. And what is also impressive is that it was done in 9 days, is that right?
9 days.
So tell me a little bit about how it was, done so quickly, and also about Bella Domicile's involvement in the project.
Great. Well, my first exposure to the Respite Center was last spring, and I was part of a design community that came in here and toured the facility and got a better understanding of what they're all about, what the need was, and what the need was for the kitchen, which is really our area of expertise,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So we looked at it and said, this is a great opportunity for us to give back to the community and to share our gifts and talents of what we do. And so we volunteered to be involved in that area and be part of many group of design professionals that got engaged with the whole project, but we said we'll take this little segment of the project. Sure. And so we got the cabinets in, and these cabinets were actually installed twice. And so we received the cabinets in our warehouse, we uncartoned them, we installed them in our warehouse, we had the countertops measured, they could be fabricated ahead of time then. We cartoned everything up, took it over to the center, and installed them a second time. And that was really, you know, when you got 9 days to complete a project, you gotta do some proper planning and make it all work.
Yeah, but we know you guys are organized to a T over there. We've met the team and they're just absolutely fabulous. So I'm not surprised you pulled it off.
They couldn't have been in better hands for
yeah,
their kids.
Absolutely.
They really couldn't have.
But what a feat, absolutely. Let's talk a little bit. So the big reveal was just recently, and what an incredible event to get everyone that was involved together and show off this space. What was it like for you, Dan, being involved in this project with Bella Domicile and Design for a Difference and Center for Families and seeing the reactions?
Great question. I think the key word for me is community. We, as a group of designers, built a community within this space. It's very hard to be able to take different spaces and create your own little domain, but everybody works seamlessly to make this happen. So we grew as a community, and then to reveal it to the community and the staff and the families at the reveal party, again, community again, taking this space and handing it off to the staff and to the community at large. Pretty cool.
Must have felt so good.
Very cool.
So good.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what an incredible, incredible transformation, and we're, I think, just feeling sort of the energy and the
Great
good vibes
energy.
in this space. And
feels so positive.
just even filming here, everyone's just happy to see what an incredible transformation and getting to be a part of a team, like we talked about before we started, a group of designers to come together and be such an important part of such an important project.
Makes such a huge difference
absolutely.
for so many different folks.
This is Dan Luck with Bella Domicile and Chris Boehm here with Center for Families, and we greatly appreciate the opportunity to be here in this space and be a part of such a fun thing.
Thank you
pleasure.
both for your time and for talking with us today.
We also want to thank all of our guests for joining us today, and thank you for watching. That's it for us here on Girl Talk.